Welcome, this is the lesson on decentralized finance. I originally am recording it for the course in big data and blockchain, but perhaps it will be used also for other courses. Okay, in this lesson I will show you the main smart contracts that exist in decentralized finance in 2022. So it will be out of date, I'm sure, in a couple of years perhaps, or perhaps not. We will start with some preliminary knowledge on how to install Solana wallet and Terra Station, and then I will go through the main features. I take for granted that you are very proficient with cryptocurrencies, blockchain, and what is a smart contract. So you must have clearly in mind what is a smart contract, otherwise everything here will seem like standard things. Okay, let's say okay, first of all, we must talk about centralized finance. So, exactly the opposite. What is centralized finance? Centralized finance are websites owned by companies, which are basically financial intermediaries in the crypto world. So, financial intermediaries in the crypto world, but which are specifically owned by companies, or even individuals, but most of them by companies. The typical examples are the fiat exchanges. Or fiat, for those of you who don't know it, means standard money, euro, dollar. Fiat in English, it's an official word, which means basically decree. So it's the money which has a worth by decree. So the basic exchanges, I mentioned just Coinbase and Binance, but there are tons and tons of others. These are the so-called centralized exchanges. They give you the possibility to exchange fiat, so traditional money, for cryptocurrencies, or to swap cryptocurrencies, and they give you a lot of services and features which are typical of decentralized finance. So most of the decentralized finance services are available also in centralized finance. However, as you will notice later on, the risks are very different. I'm not saying that there are more risk or less risk, that the risks are very different and you must be very aware of them. There are other platforms which, even though many of them acts also as exchanges, so give you the possibility to exchange traditional money versus cryptocurrencies, they are much more focused on services, so give you services instead of the exchange service. Most of the times these services include lending and borrowing. I just mentioned crypto.com, Nexo, Hodler, Hodlout, Celsius. You can go there and visit these services yourself just to check out. It's very interesting to notice that in crypto finance, even the centralized one, it's very, very different what happens for interest. When I'm talking, probably the interest rates for euros are around zero, perhaps 2%. A colleague just yesterday told me that the Italian BTP have now an interest of a wonderful interest of 2%. Okay, while all these platforms, which are even through centralized ones, give you an interest which ranges between 8 and 12%, so much, much more. Moreover, another peculiar aspect is that they give you usually a daily or weekly, rarely monthly interest, while traditional financial intermediaries tend to give you an yearly interest. This is because they somehow borrow in the metaphorical sense things from decentralized finance, and so where you will see the interest is instantaneous, so not even daily, it's instantaneous. However, most of these centralized finance intermediaries, they do exchange services, savings, so you put the money there, so they lend you money, and they have access to credit cards, which is something for sure decentralized finance cannot access. Okay, so they have connections with Visa, MasterCard, and they give you credit cards, usually connected with the crypto world or connected with your accounts. Which are the risks of these centralized finance services? Well, according to my opinion, and this is something which I have never heard people pointing it out enough, but this is without any doubt a major risk, being logged out from your account. There could be administrative issues or technical issues or whatever which log you out of technical account. For example, you lose your phone and at the same time, let's say your identity document expires, if too many things happen at the same time, it will be difficult for you to re-log into your account. Most of the times you will be able to get in contact with our customer service and solve everything, most of the times. However, sometimes the customer service really sucks, and I have to use the verb suck. Okay, and it's pretty difficult for you to get in contact with them. I've never heard a person who really was logged out from their account. On the web you find tons and tons of people complaining, but I've never found out a person who has really problems up to the end, so being logged out from the account for several days. Me too, I've been logged out from my account for some days. It could happen. Usually it happens whenever there are technical problems on their side or on your side. And what happens if you get logged out from your account into Decentralized Finance? You just reset up everything and you log in as usual. Okay, unless it's a big problem of the smart contract, but in that case it's the smart contract which was badly written. If you get logged out from your standard financial intermediary, you can go with your feet. Do you remember your feet, your personal face, to the bank and just talk with people? Here, where do you go? To Lithuania, to Estonia, to Switzerland? You don't. Most of the time, you don't even have any idea where they are located. The second problem is a scam. Okay, I have very rarely seen this one, but it could be that somebody sets up a fake Binance website, let's call it Binance, or Binance with S, okay, and you log in there, or they typically somebody sends you an email pretending to be Binance and asking for your credentials. Okay, this is usually fought a lot by the intermediaries themselves. They fight a lot against these things, and it very rarely happens. It happens much more frequently in decentralized finance, but it could be. Finally, the thing that many people fear, but which it's extremely rare that it happens, at least in the last years, is a bankruptcy. This can go bankrupt, and they do own your money. So the cryptocurrency is not yours; it's belongs to the intermediary. Not only practically, also legally belongs to the intermediary. If they go bankrupt, bye bye to your cryptocurrency completely, full stop. The judge will intervene, will start the activities, and decide to split what remains to the creditors, but you will receive really few money. Okay. Let's see instead what are just a recap of smart contracts, because I take for granted that you are very well aware of. Smart contracts are written on the blockchain, and these have several implications. The first one is that they are decentralized and without intermediaries. So there is no customer service, okay? So there is not a person responsible for them. They cannot go bankrupt on purpose. Okay, and they are decentralized, and they are also completely transparent. I didn't write it here, perhaps it's a good idea to write it here. This transparent, immutable. Okay, let's put it here. Transparent. Okay, you see exactly their entire activity, which is something that you don't see for centralized finance. They are immutable, so there is not somebody who moves your money around. It cannot be. Some of the smart contracts can be changed, but they can be changed usually through a vote, and this is explicitly written in the smart contract itself, that there could be a vote which can change the smart contract. And usually there is also a lock-in period, so any change will be applied after, let's say, 7 days, so you have time to withdraw your money if you don't agree with the change. And especially they are unstoppable, they will run forever. So some smart contracts are not used anymore, but just because all the users decide to switch to another smart contract, for example a version 2, but if you still want to use version 1, nobody forbids you from doing so. So they are unstoppable, will run forever. Okay, what are the risks of using smart contract to put your money inside? The first one, and perhaps the only one, is scam. I write it underline, so because it's really the biggest risk. Many times, and perhaps you will see also in this video, but I'm not sure about this, it depends on what the scammers are doing, you search for the smart contract with Google. Okay, what you find, the first website that you find is not the website of the smart contract. It's a website which looks 100% identical to smart contract, but when you try to connect your wallet, it immediately asks you for the 12 words. And you don't know how many people do I read about on Reddit that actually write the 12 secret words in the fake smart contract website, and their money suddenly disappears. And at this point they say, this smart contract scammed me. No, it's you who scammed yourself. Okay, or somebody else scammed yourself. So the scam with respect to smart contract, it's really, really terrible. I found one just this morning, but I don't know whether it's still online. So scam websites are really a plague currently to smart contract. The problem is that while for centralized intermediary, whenever there is a scam website, the centralized intermediary take the telephone and calls Google and say, please remove that scam. For decentralized smart contracts, the smart contract doesn't take the telephone and call somebody. So until it must be the users who complain and complain and complain, and after 3 days of complaining, Google removes the link. Okay, the other problem is the loss of the private keys. Let me reduce the font here. The loss of the private keys. If you clearly lose your private keys, okay, which is all your fault, honestly, you have lost access to your funds forever. If you instead lose the password of the centralized finance traditional website, well, you can always call the customer service, provide identity documents, a lot of papers, but at the end you manage to get your funds back. Okay, here if you lose the private keys, goodbye. And finally, there could be errors in the smart contracts. So errors which everybody overlooked, it happened, but usually if the smart contract is tested enough, it doesn't happen. But errors which everybody overlooked, and somebody finds out the error and tries to exploit it to his her own advantage and to take out of the money. So if there is somebody who managed to take out the money from the smart contract without, not in the way which were imagined by the authors, goodbye money there. It's very rare. I put all the risks in order of possibility. So scam, it's let's say 99% of the causes of loss, and loss of private keys 1%. Errors in the smart contract happens very rarely. Also here, logged out from account, it's usually 99% of your problems. Scam 1%, and bankruptcy, it's really very rare. Okay, there are some smart contracts are written on the blockchain. Perhaps you have seen only the Ethereum blockchain and Linkbuy, which is its test net. Okay, but there are several other blockchains which use the same code as Ethereum, and these are called the EVM blockchain, so Ethereum Virtual Machine. So there is Ethereum, which obviously uses the Ethereum Virtual Machine, but there is also Binance Smart Chain, Kronos, Avalanche, Polygon, Phantom. These are the most famous ones. There is really a huge list, but really a lot of them. What is the advantage for a blockchain of using the Ethereum virtual machine? The advantage is that people write smart contracts for Ethereum, usually in Solidity, and the very same smart contract can be transferred to their blockchain without any change. Even you can use MetaMask. So MetaMask can be used for Binance Smart Chain, for Kronos, for Avalanche, for Polygon, for Phantom. Okay, now just to give you an example of this, I will, let me, utilities. Okay, I have here my MetaMask, it's here, MetaMask, okay. This is a chain list, these are all the Ethereum virtual machines. So I will now, on my MetaMask, install Binance Smart Chain. Currently my MetaMask is this one. You can click here and it gets automatically installed. You can see Polygon, Avalanche, Phantom, Kronos, and a tons of others. So connect to wallet. And it transmits automatically to MetaMask. Yeah, everything. Next. Disconnect. Okay, and now I can add to MetaMask. Okay, and can you see it adds Binance Smart Chain mainnet. Okay. And let's see if I can add also Binance test network. Oh no, there is only mainnet. Ah no, testnet. Okay, I add also Binance Smart Chain testnet. Okay, so the test network is there as well. Okay, let me go to the mainnet. Okay, mainnet and testnet. Okay, I will get some Binance Smart Chain testnet fake money. So, forse Binance. Okay, first of all I get my address. Come on, copy to clipboard. Okay, Binance Smart Chain Fusse. Obviously they give you only fake money. Paste the Peggy tokens. Okay. Give me BNB. One BNB, thank you. Okay, got it. Can I get another one? No, okay. Oh, I have to wait 1 day. Okay, so but I have my one BNB fake. I don't know whether I will use T stands for test. Okay, if you go to the real one, you will have the real BNB. Okay, so as we have seen, every blockchain has its own native currency. Either for Ethereum, the Binance coin, the BNB for Binance, the Kronos for Kronos. Not always the name is the same. For example, for Polygon, it's Matic. Okay. However, there are several other blockchains which are not are not EVM, but still can handle smart contracts, not written in Solidity, written in other languages, but really pretty very good. They play a major role in decentralized finance. These are Solana and Terra. Let's see now how to install the wallet. You cannot use MetaMask because it's not EVM. So first of all, I have to get rid of my face. Here it is, because I saw that it overlaps with the wallet. Okay, here I go here, add on. Okay, you search for Phantom with a PH. Phantom, this one. Okay, don't search it with Google because you will find a lot of scams. So I put it here and add to Firefox. Okay. Yes. Okay, every time you can run it. Yes, fine. Okay. Now, as usual, I will create a new wallet, create a password. Okay, let's see. Pippo. 1, 2, 3. I agree to everything. Okay. No, don't save me. Oh my god. Have to write it down now, this one. I will write it down. Okay, I have saved, yes. Okay, no, I don't follow you on Twitter. Okay, and now I have Phantom here with my wallet. Okay, this is the same as MetaMask, but it's for Solana. And exactly as MetaMask, it has the testnet inside. So I get a Solana for to get some fake Ether. Okay, this morning it wasn't working. Let's hope that now the sun is shining. Can I get I get my address or something? No, the meantime, I saved the password. Install Terra Station, which is the other one. Terra Station. Also, this one is very important. This one is the most scammed of them all. Terra Station wallet. 74 users only? Really? Who wrote a comment? Most users. Ah, yes, 74 users. Okay. Add to Firefox. Yes, add. Yes, okay. Okay, and this is Terra Station. Let me reorganize. No, I cannot. Okay. Also, this one will show me new wallet. Okay, wallet name. Paolo Firefox test. Password. Secret. Pippo. At mnemonic. This time I can copy and paste, which is easier. I have written down, yes. Submit. No, don't save. Oh, my 24th word and my 20 word. Okay. Yes. Okay, I have Terra Station. Okay, fine, it's here. Is it okay, very well. I get my address. I get Terra fosse, I get some Luna tokens because the native currency for Solana it's Solana, and for Luna, for Terra it's Luna. I'm not a robot, no. Okay, send me tokens. Okay, send me 5 Luna. Thank you very much. On the testnet, obviously. Gear, testnet. 10 Luna, yes, wonderful. So as I was telling you, all of the blockchains have usually one native currency and they have some other tokens. These tokens are exactly identical to the crypto token that we develop in the course on smart contracts, or that perhaps you have seen sometimes. So crypto tokens everywhere. So each one of these blockchains allows for several crypto tokens. Most of the times, what do? They take the cryptocurrency, the native cryptocurrency of another blockchain, and they incorporate it as crypto token. We'll see later on how this is technically done. Okay. However, the Terra blockchain is in some aspect peculiar because even though it has one native cryptocurrency, it has several other cryptocurrencies which are almost native. We'll talk about them later when we'll talk about stablecoins. I don't want to talk about them now. Okay, let's talk about consensus algorithm. When we were talking about Bitcoin, we have seen that its consensus algorithm is the proof of work, which leads to mining. So the fact that several people are asked to do some calculation activity, and the first one who managed to find a solution receives the prize. This is mining. So the validators of the transactions is a random person who has managed to do a lot of work and found out a solution. This unfortunately leads to some usually a lot of energy consumption and to an arms race to whoever has the most powerful machines, and also the fact that it leads also to an general rising of the fees. Okay, so other blockchains have learned this lesson and have changed the consensus algorithm. Also, Ethereum is slowly migrating to proof of stake, but now Ethereum is still the only one who has proof of work. Ethereum is the only one among the blockchain, the famous blockchain who work with smart contracts. Okay, the other issue, as I told you before, is block times. In Ethereum, there is one block every perhaps 12 seconds. It's a little too slow. People want to make transaction quickly. So the other blockchain usually are much faster, have much more frequent blocks, which also has some technical implication, because if the time between blocks is smaller than 2 seconds, it's also difficult to propagate the block, so you must set up different consensus algorithms. In general, all of them have the proof of stake. Some say that have proof of authority, historical proof of history, but these are general variations of the proof of stake. How does the proof of stake work? In the proof of stake, the people who want to be validator put some of their currency, for example, Ethereum, if Ethereum were to set up the proof of stake, some of their currency locked, and we say at stake or staked. Okay. Then the blockchain randomly extracts one of these people to validate the next block. This randomly is based on how much money has this person put at stake and on for how long has that money been at stake. So usually the richest, the wealthiest has more possibility to be the next validator. And there is an economical reason behind, a game theory reason behind, because if you are very wealthy, so if you have a lot of currency, you will never do strange or illegal things. Because otherwise, if the other people find out that you have done illegal things, for example, you have banned a person from doing transaction, or you have approved transactions which are not valid, or something like that, the the trust in that cryptocurrency will dramatically go down, and all your wealth will disappear. So if you are very wealthy, you want that things run smoothly for that cryptocurrency. Okay, this is the economical idea behind proof of stake. So all the people can participate in this activity. Unfortunately, most of the times there is a limited number. So we say only 100 people. So the 100 wealthiest people can participate in it. So how do people, little investors, participate in the proof of stake? You must give them the possibility to participate, because otherwise it's not really decentralized. They participate through delegated proof of stake. What does it mean? It means that they can delegate their money to a validator who will do the proof of stake for them. This means also that they don't need all the equipment, because the validator must have some very good equipment, because it can never be offline, because if it is his turn to confirm the transaction, he can never be online. If it is offline, he will be punished, as you will see later. So they can delegate a certain amount of money to the validator. The validator is not able to spend as he wishes, but still has, let's say, the voting rights. So the money is still locked. It's locked. You cannot spend it, but it doesn't belong to the validator. It's still yours, but locked. And the validator can use the money to increase his amount, and so being randomly chosen more often. Okay, and will give you, as a compensation, a part of the money that he gets. Usually a large part, such as 95%. Okay, so Station Terra Money Stake is the proof of stake for Terra blockchain. Okay, I connect my wallet, Terra Station wallet. Connect. Okay. Now it will realize that I don't have any money, but will still show me all the validators. These are the validators for the Terra blockchain. Okay, this is the voting power, so how much money they own, and the probability that they are chosen, basically. So block engine is chosen 3% of the times. You can sort them by voting power. 23% of the time, not 0. Terran 1, 23%. Okay, this is the commission they charge you. So they get they get the reward for validating the block. And this one, for example, keeps 10% of commission for himself and gives you 90%. So 90% is distributed among all the people who delegated him. Okay. And this is the estimated monthly rewards with 100 Luna staked. So you have, well, not so bad, honestly. 100 Luna staked, a monthly reward of 3.12. But I think, look, I am on the testnet. If I switch on the... we switch later to the real... Well, let's switch now to the real mainnet. Let's see what are the... Refresh. Okay. Orion, this is much more decentralized. Orion Money 4.87, Dokia Capital 3.12, and they give you at 0.57 rewards monthly. Well, not so bad. It's 6-7%, 7% yearly. So you get a 7% reward yearly. This gives you a commission of 5%. Asks you. Okay, so the commission is between 0 and 10%. Okay. There is a lock period, so if you put the money there, you cannot get it back for usually 21 days. So you ask it back and you get it back after 21 days. So you don't get it back in the meantime. So if you undelegate, you have to wait 21 days. Are there some risks? Yes, there are. Some risk in doing the proof of stake, so in staking your own money, or even in delegating your money. The risk is the risk of slashing. What is it? You can notice here that there is an uptime, which means how much they've been up. So how much they've been up, because if the computer is down and you are chosen, the entire blockchain stacks, so it skips probably your block, and you create a damaged entire blockchain. So you are punished with some slashing. Slashing means that the amount that you have at stake, it's partially burned, literally burned. Your money disappears. Not all of it, partially, a little fraction, but still you have an economical damage. So, for example, this one, uptime 95%, have been slashed probably in the past. A little, 98. Binance staking has been slashed a lot. Okay, that's why the rewards are so low, because compared to this one. This one probably has such a small voting power that it has not been chosen yet. Okay, so most of them, as you can see, have an uptime of 100%, so the computers are always online. The other reason why you're slashed, it's if you misbehave. If you misbehave when there is a fork in the blockchain and you contribute to both sides of the blockchain, in this case you're considered to misbehave and you're slashed. And that's why there is a lock-in period of 21 days, because the community investigates over these behaviors, and if they find out that you have misbehaved, they have 21 days to find out and slash you before you get the money back. Okay, so there are some little risks in staking. Let's see, but staking, by the way, it's very easy. I go now to the test net, because I don't want to really stake my own money, which will be locked for 21 days. And so I have now 10 Luna. I will stake one, just to show you how to do it. I refresh because I want to be on the testnet. Okay, so let's choose a validator. Block engine, it's always up, so let's choose this one. Okay, I delegate. How much can I delegate? One. No, delegate amount 1 Luna. Okay. Fee. I will have to pay a fee of 0.004298 Lunas. Leave enough coins to pay the fee for subsequent transaction. Okay. Submit. I am on the testnet. Very well. Password. No. Okay, I have currently 8 Luna. Stake. Okay, delegations 1 Luna. Okay, I have them. Blockchain, I'm delegated 1 Luna. I will earn a reward in the next month of 0.03 Luna. Okay, wonderful. Okay, let's try to undelegate it. So I try to get it back, undelegate. Usually on the main chain, it asks me to wait 21 days. So the undelegation works, but it asks me to wait 21 days. Maximum 7 undelegation in progress at the same time. No, was distributed during 21 of undelegation. Ah, yes, I still have to wait 21 days. Okay, wonderful. I undelegate the Luna. I have to pay the fee. Delete the password. Now save. Okay. Okay, my wallet. Refresh. Yes, definitely it's Firefox which is sucking. History. Okay. I have undelegated, can you see? There is a transaction which sends back 1 Luna, but this 1 Luna it's now back to my wallet, but it's not available until 21 days. Okay. Okay, delegation. Okay, currently have an undelegation in progress. Consider that 1 Luna is worth $100, so okay, so I have undelegated. Very well. So this is how proof of stake works. And it's the first possibility to make money with your cryptocurrencies, let's say automatically. You basically using that with Luna, you gain more or less a 7% yearly, which is not bad, honestly. You still have the hash that it's locked for 21 days after you ask to get it back, and it will not gain interest in those 21 days, but it's pretty fine. And now, before going on with the other ways to gain money from the decentralized finance world, we have to talk about the stable coins. What are stablecoins? Stablecoins are cryptocurrencies, crypto tokens. So usually they are not the native currency of a blockchain, but they are crypto tokens which have a fixed value in, let's say, real life. So usually $1. There are stable coins pegged to the euro, to the GBP, to the CAD, to the Korean won, etc., etc. But 99% of the stable coins are pegged to the US dollar. The most famous one is Tether. Its acronym is USDT, US dollar Tether. It's backed by a company controlled by Bitfinex, one of the main exchanges. What does it mean? It means that this exchange guarantees that whenever you arrive with one Tether, they will give you back $1. So they guarantee. So we are in the hands of this exchange. Obviously, if this exchange doesn't respect the agreement anymore, goodbye value. So the value will immediately drop to zero. I must say that Tether, even though Tether is not transparent at all, because we don't know whether this exchange has enough money to cover all the tethers which are around, because the amount of tethers around, it's incredibly large. If you look at coin market cap, Tether, it's cryptocurrency number 3 with a, where is the market cap? Circulating supply, but this is in US dollar, price, market cap, 83 billion dollars around. So this exchange must have $83 billion there to exchange them for Tether. We are not very sure of this. However, if you look at the graph of Tether, it doesn't fluctuate so much. Well, consider that here the fluctuations up arrive to 1.0017, so it's less than 1%, much less than 1%, and the fluctuation down also, the fluctuation down in 0.1%, this is 0.999, so it fluctuates very well around 1, so it's really pegged. If you look, okay, before it was fluctuating much here, there was the tragedy for Tether, it arrived at, what, 0.91, so it was on the brink of collapsing, but then it recovered very well. Some problems here, some little problems here, and then nothing here. Now it's perfectly pegged. Okay, so despite being non-transparent, it's perfectly pegged. Another one famous is USD coin, USDC. This is similar, but it's backed by crypto assets. So the companies which back it, so which guarantee to exchange one USDC for $1, have as a guarantee, have Ethereum, Bitcoin, and a lot of other cryptocurrencies as a guarantee. Much more than the amount of USDC around, so they are sure that even if the price of Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc. drops, they can cover very well all the value of USDC. And they have been audited also, they are audited regularly, so it's people consider it more trusty. Despite this thing, it's not, you can see, Tether it's here with 83 billion, USDC has 49 billion, half of Tether circulating supply. Okay. Then we have things backed by smart contracts, which may seem incredible. The DAI is one of them. It's backed by other crypto, but this time on smart contracts. So there are smart contracts which guarantee that for every DAI created, there is an equivalent or more than the equivalent amount in Ethereum locked inside the smart contract. So inside the smart contract of DAI, there is a certain amount of Ethereum or other crypto tokens locked to guarantee that when you come back with your DAI, they give you back the cryptocurrency that you wish for the equivalent of one DAI, $1. Okay, so this is backed by smart contracts. The advantage is that this is backed by the same asset as this one, but these assets can be frozen by the government, for example. These assets cannot be frozen by the government because it's a smart contract which gives the asset back to you. Let's see, DAI, where is it? DAI, it's here, 20, with a circulating supply of only 9 billion. Okay, and finally, one of the probably the most interesting for me, which I'm a computer scientist, it's Terra USD, usually called UST, which is algorithmically backed by Luna. So Luna is the native currency of Terra, blockchain. So Terra blockchain has a native currency Luna, but Terra blockchain has also some other native crypto tokens. One of them is UST. There is also a Korean won T, GBT, and CAD T, UT. Okay. And these are algorithmically backed. The mechanism is extremely interesting. There is a smart contract inside the Terra blockchain, which is not as typically our smart contract built on the blockchain. It is built inside the blockchain, which does the following. Whenever a user arrives, the smart contract exchanges one Terra USD for an equivalent amount of Luna, looking at the price of Luna on the major exchanges. And vice versa, exchanges a certain amount of Lunas for one US Terra USD. So basically, the smart contract guarantees that Terra USD has a fixed value of $1 looking at the price of Luna on the major exchanges. If for any reason the price of Terra USD drops, let's say that at a certain point the price of Terra USD drops to 0.9, what will happen? The price of Terra USD drops from 0.9 in the current world market. The people will go to the other exchanges, will buy Terra USD at 0.9, will go back to the smart contract inside the Terra blockchain, and will exchange the Terra USD at 1. So they will gain 10% of profit. They will get some Lunas. They will take those Lunas, sell them on the exchanges for Terra USD again for 0.9. They will come back and redo it again and again and again and again and again. In this way, this smart contract will flood the market with Luna and will take out from the market Terra USD. And this automatically will make the price of Terra USD rise until it reaches exactly 1. There is the disadvantage that the price of Luna will drop, okay? But Luna, it's meant to be volatile. So Luna cryptocurrency, it's literally meant to be volatile and used as a backing system for Terra USD and all the other algorithmically stable cryptocurrency on Terra blockchain. So the behavior should remind you of the moon and Earth. The moon goes around the Earth and fixes the Z level. You know that the Z level depends on where the moon is. And it's the same. Luna goes around. Luna is there just to fix the value of Terra USD. When it's too much, thanks to this smart contract, which is inside the blockchain, so can create Terra USD out of nothing and burn Luna, or vice versa, can create new Luna and burn Terra USD, so has the ability of money creation and money burning. The smart contract creates Luna and burns Terra USD, or vice versa, creates Terra USD and burns Luna, depending on which one, if Terra USD is higher than $1 or lower than $1. And automatically pushes the investors to use it to balance the markets. So all the volatility of Terra USD, it's automatically switched to Luna. So Luna absorbs the volatility of Terra USD thanks to this smart contract, which does exactly the same thing that the DAI smart contract does, with the big advantage that here it will never run out of money because Luna is created automatically by the smart contract, which is inside the blockchain and not on the blockchain, so has the ability to create money out of thin air. Okay, I repeat, the disadvantage is that Luna drops of value. So whenever Terra USD drops of value for some reasons, it remains at $1, but it's Luna which drops of value. Okay, and vice versa also. Whenever Terra USD should increase in value, it remains at $1 and it's Luna which increases value. So Luna is pretty volatile, a lot volatile. Okay, but this algorithmically stable smart contract cryptocurrency is doing really very well, and I think it's pretty high. Let's find it. Now this is the Luna, so the volatile one. Let's see whether it's really volatile in 1 year. Well, pretty. This is 13, 120. So yeah, it's pretty volatile. And can we get Terra USD? Terra USD number 13 with 17 billion around, all backed by nothing. These are backed by Luna. So by the fact that there is Luna on the other side. And let's look at its graph. 1 year. Okay, well, yes, apart from this single moment of failure, but it's not such a big failure, 0.94, it's not 0.5, it's 0.94. Apart from this moment, the rest, it fluctuates. You can see this one seems a lot, but it's 0.11098. And because every time that it drops, automatically Luna intervenes and corrects. Same thing when it goes above. Okay, it has been created only in 2020. There is also another big drop here, 0.85 here at the very beginning, and at the very beginning, 1.04. Okay, probably when the people realized that it was so stable that it was managed to recover a drop of 15%, they all booked it, and so this led to a drop, but then Luna absorbed its volatility. It should be interesting to make a comparison between the up and down of Terra USD and the volatility of Luna, but it's beyond the scope of this video. Okay, so this is very, very interesting. What are the risks in stablecoin? Clearly to the peg. So that they depeg, so they lose their peg to the dollar for reasons depending on the one. Here, because this company goes bankrupt. Here, because a government can freeze these assets. Here, because the assets which backed DAI could run out or the smart contract could stop working. Here, because Luna could drop so quickly that the people cannot manage to do the thing I explained before. So to buy Terra USD, selling Luna, buying Terra USD, selling Luna, etc., etc. So if Luna drops very, very quickly, the algorithm here will not work so fine. So there are risks of the peg in all these stable coins. But for the moment, as you've seen from the graph, it's pretty limited. Bridges. As I anticipated before, each blockchain has its own crypto tokens inside. So there is the native currency and several, an infinity amount of crypto tokens. And I'm not talking about things such as Terra USD, which are not really crypto tokens, are more a second native currency. I'm talking about any crypto token, like the ones that we created when we built the smart contracts on crypto tokens. Most of the times, these crypto tokens are wrapped cryptocurrencies. What do I mean? Let's look, for example, let me see here, Pancake, we must use the real Binance Smart Chain. Okay, where I don't have money, so I have problems doing it. Okay, what do I mean with, I mean this thing here, look. Look at the list here of cryptocurrency. I am here on the Binance Smart Chain, so in theory the only currency which should exist is BNB. Which is the Binance token, the Binance coin. Okay, but you can see Alpaca. It's a crypto token. I don't have any idea. Not true, but I have some ideas. But Belt. And what is funny here? This is Bitcoin. But why there is Bitcoin on the Binance Smart Chain? Bitcoin lives in its own blockchain, has its own blockchain. It cannot live on the Binance Smart Chain. How does it work? It works in the following way. There are some, let's say, smart contracts, or better, two smart contracts called bridges, which you can put a token on a blockchain and receive the same token on another blockchain. How? Well, for example, in order to receive BTC-B, which means the Bitcoin in the Binance Smart Chain, usually there is an extra letter to indicate it, but sometimes not, and I underline it, sometimes not. For example, for Ethereum, I think, yeah, you see, Ethereum, this ETH seems Ethereum, but it's not Ethereum, because we are here on the Binance Smart Chain. This is the Ethereum token. Okay, there should be also Luna, perhaps, also the Tether. It's a token. And is there Luna also? Luna. Oh, yes. Luna Inu. No. Okay, Luna. I have to import it explicitly. There is the Luna. Okay. However, how can I have BTC-B? Well, there is a bridge which is usually made up of two smart contracts, one on the Bitcoin blockchain. Even though the Bitcoin blockchain doesn't allow full smart contracts, there could be some possibilities, some programming possibilities, and another corresponding smart contract on the Binance Smart Chain. Whenever you give one Bitcoin to this to the first smart contract, the second you are allowed to take one BTC-B on the second smart contract. So your original Bitcoin is locked in the first smart contract, and you can use the BTC-B on the second smart contract. It's yours now. So in order to get it, you must go in one of these bridges and bridge. Let's see an example, because I know that it's pretty strange. This is a bridge between Terra and usually Binance Smart Chain. So, no, Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, okay. Okay, so it bridges Terra to Binance Smart Chain. For example, US Terra. Okay, I have US Terra. I currently have none, I'm afraid. But let's try, I put one. Okay, I will need to put here a destination address on Binance. So I copy it. Destination address. I connect my Terra Station. Now it will realize that I don't have money, so it will say, you poor people. Okay, now it will complain that I don't have money. Okay, yeah, amount must be greater than 0. Sorry, I don't have it. Okay, so these are two smart contracts, one in Terra and one in BSC. The one in Terra simply takes my, for example, 100 UST on Terra blockchain, locks them, so they cannot be used. And then the smart contract on Binance Smart Chain allows me to get 100, or usually 99, because this couple of smart contract takes a little fee, 99 UST, but as a crypto token on the Binance Smart Chain. Why should I do this? Well, I should do this for several reasons. The first one could be because the fees on Binance Smart Chain are smaller. It's not true, because the fees on Terra also are very small, but for example, between Bitcoin and Binance Smart Chain, the fees on Binance Smart Chain are much smaller. So the first reason could be this one. So I have now my Bitcoin, for example, on Binance Smart Chain. I can use them where the fees are much smaller and the validation time is much quicker. Okay. The other reason is because there are some smart contracts which are very interesting for me, but they exist only on Binance Smart Chain, and so I need to transfer my cryptocurrencies on Binance Smart Chain. So you can switch between cryptocurrencies using these things here, which are technically called wrapped. So now I will, if I could do it, now I cannot do it, I would have wrapped USD here, which is what? Pancake swap. Yeah, the world is made of pancakes. Which is the BTC-B. Okay, sometimes it's called WBTC, so the wrapped Bitcoin. Okay, so all these things that you see here are either crypto tokens or wrapped cryptocurrencies from other blockchains. Let's see, sometimes there is also Solana. Let's see, Sol. No, Solana is not here. They don't like it. And SLND, no, not even considered. Okay. And Terra Bridge. What does it let me? Can I exchange Luna? Luna does not exist. Very well. There is a little bug in this bridge. Okay, let me change. Okay, I switch from Ethereum to Terra. Okay, I do the vice versa. Okay, on Ethereum I can have also Luna. Let's go here, Ethereum. Yes. So from Terra to Ethereum. Oh, okay. I can have Luna, luckily. Okay. So I have some Lunas here in the testnet. Okay, it's checking my real balance, not my testnet balance. Even though there's written testnet, it's checking my real balance. So, however, this is how a bridge works. Okay, what are the disadvantages of bridge? A lot. I must say really a lot. First of all, they have typically high fees. They charge you high fees because there are two smart contracts, they are on two blockchain, they are technically difficult to build. Okay, and sometimes these fees are unpredictable, so they rise suddenly. I once stumbled upon 10-15% of fees, so fees which are outrageous. Okay. Then you have a wrapped token on the other side. However, there could be several wrapped tokens for the same currency. For example, here it's not the case because BTCB, it's the only wrapped Bitcoin which exists on Binance. But for example, on Terra, I have seen several wrapped Bitcoins. Let's see, Terra swap. Fake. Pay attention to advertisement, never look at it. Okay, let me see whether I get here a list of Terra. Okay. BTC. Okay, I have. Can you see here? I am on Terra blockchain. I have 3 different Bitcoin. These are all wrapped Bitcoin. This is MBTC, BTC, WH, BTCB. Okay, they are all Bitcoin. So depending on which bridge are you using, also Ethereum, 1, 2, no, 1, 2, this is not something else, 3. So 3 different Ethereum. These 2 share the same symbol, by the way. So which one is the right one? All of them are right, so all of them follow the price of Ethereum, but if I have to use it in another smart contract, which is usually the reason why I use the bridge, I have to get the right one. And it happened to me that I didn't get the right one. I have to go back, paying the fees another 2 times, back and forth, because I didn't get the right one. Okay, and finally there is a large spread. So in the swap between, when you swap an Ethereum from one website to the other one, especially if you swap 2 cryptocurrencies. So for example, you start with Luna on Terra and you want to get Ethereum on Ethereum, so not really a bridge and a swap at the same time, you incur in large spread. So pay attention. I try to use bridges as less as possible. I really dislike them. Okay, let's go to other things that you may find on decentralized finance. The most typical thing that you will find is a decentralized exchange. It's exactly the same as Binance, Coinbase exchanges, but this time they are decentralized. Okay, they can be standard, so more standard, traditional, like order book based decentralized exchanges. Let's see this one, for example. I don't want to subscribe for updates. Okay, here you can see pretty traditional seems, no? I exchange here Bitcoin for USDT. Obviously, in these decentralized exchanges, you will never exchange a cryptocurrency for a fiat currency. You will exchange always a cryptocurrency for another cryptocurrency. Don't expect to find here real dollar or real euro. Okay, there are sometimes dollars, but usually USDT or USDC or DAI or Terra USD, but not real. Not the standard fiat currency. Okay, you can see here the people wanting to sell and the people wanting to buy. Okay, so very traditional, order based we say it. So whenever there is somebody who wants to buy for 41368 or whatever, it matches this one. Whenever there is somebody who wants to sell for 38583, it will match this order and tac. So they're gonna match, and this exact, very traditional. These are the list of trades. So it's not my task to explain to you the microstructure of a financial market, so pretty traditional. What is the disadvantage of financial markets set up in this way? You can see it immediately here. There are only 4 orders to sell, no more. And for a very ridiculous amount, so you can see, well, ridiculous, not so ridiculous, but pretty small. If you search for another pair which is much less famous, for example, let's see here, Shiba. What is Shiba? Shiba USDT. Perhaps Shiba. Okay, nobody. Better, no, it's loading. Well, for the moment, there is nobody who wants to trade it. So the problem here in traditional order book markets is that exchanges that there could be nobody wanting to trade, and so the spread could be pretty high. Okay, so many of the decentralized exchanges, almost all of them, let's say honestly, are instead AMM, automatic market maker. So unlike traditional exchanges which are order book with a person or an algorithm, which is the market maker, okay, these are automatic market maker. First of all, let's see how do they look like, and then I will explain you how do they technically work. We have already seen Pancake Swap. Oh, it's here. Okay, so Pancake Swap. You want to exchange BNB for cake? Okay. It's here. What I 1 BNB for 43.8749 cake. That's the price. Take it or leave it. Okay. If you exchange, however, a lot of BNB, for example, 1,000, you may incur in a slippage. Okay. It means that the price could be worse because you are depleting the amount offered. It's not my task to explain to you what is the slippage. If you have done any course on financial market microstructure, you will learn what is the slippage. In this case, you can lose up to 0.5% of the price. Okay, apart from the fact that they don't have enough balance. They will take, and it will have a price impact of 0.28. They will take a fee, 2.5 BNB, which is not so much, honestly. Let me see if I want to exchange it for USDT. So I can see. Okay, 1 BNB. 1 BNB is 421. I thought the fee was pretty high before. Now it's a small fee. And I want to do vice versa. Okay, I want to take 1,000 BNB, which is $1,000. I will get 2.3 BNB. And I pay, as you can see, you pay as a fee very little, $2.5. Well, very little, not so much, but okay. Okay, so technically they work very fine. They have always an offer, so it never runs out. So you always have an offer. Okay, so pretty standard, nothing to say. A very similar one is the Terra Swap. Terra Swap. We have already seen it also. Terra Swap. Fake. This is the right one. Web app. Okay, swap. You can swap things. Like, come on. Okay, the advantage of Terra Swap is that I can connect it into testnet. Yes, I can connect it. Terra. Okay. Is it connected? No, it's not connected. Okay. Okay. This is the list of things that you can BTC for Apollo. Okay. Let's BTC for Apollo. Let's take one entire Bitcoin. Yes, I know that I don't have enough balance to pay the fees. I will pay the fee in Luna. Yeah, I don't have enough balance, but if you let me connect, however, if you exchange one BTC, you get 11,107 Apollos. And you can see the route. You don't get really Apollos immediately, but you pass through UST. If now it lets me connect before tomorrow, okay. Is it okay? Okay, it will never let me connect. Okay. Next time, remind me when I create a video that I must use Chrome. But unfortunately, Chrome is where I have all my money, and I didn't want to show you my outrageous amounts of money that I gain thanks to your subscription to YouTube. No. Okay, but what's behind? What does it mean, automatic market maker? Automatic market maker is pretty strange. I need here my face completely because something. Okay. It works in a pretty strange way. It works in the following. Suppose that in the smart contract, so it's a smart contract which does this operation, there is an initial amount of 100 Bitcoin and 100,000 USDT. Okay. Who puts this initial amount will be discussed in the next slide, so don't worry. But there is an initial amount of 100 Bitcoins, wrapped Bitcoins, because it must be on the same blockchain, and 100,000 USDT. Okay. This means automatically that the price, it must be always 50-50, so the same value. So if there is 100 Bitcoin and 100,000 USDT, it means that automatically the price of one Bitcoin is 1,000 USDT. Okay. If a person arrives and wants to buy one Bitcoin paying in USDT, the price will be determined in such a way that after this bought, the amount of remaining Bitcoin, which is 999, will have a price equivalent to the amount of remaining USDT, which will be 100,000 plus what the person has paid. So there is an equation to solve. Okay, let's see a practical example on how the price is determined in an automatic market maker system. Suppose that there is an initial allowance of 100 Bitcoin and 100,000 USDT, so basically dollars. This implies that the current Bitcoin value is approximately 1,000 USDT. Okay, the allowance inside the market must be always 50-50. So it cannot be different than 50-50. Who puts this money at the very beginning will be explained within 2 slides. Okay, so we start with a person. So John wants to buy X Bitcoin. So John arrives and wants to buy X Bitcoin and asks for the price. The price is determined in this way: 100 minus X, which is the remaining quantity of Bitcoin, multiplied by the price of Bitcoin. And with the price, I mean the price of Bitcoin with respect to the other currency, so with respect to USDT, is equal to 100,000 minus what is paid by John. Okay, let's make it smaller, so shrink, okay. So what does it mean paid by John? Well, how much does John paid? Well, John paid simply X by the price of Bitcoin, so we have that. I can copy and paste. Okay, here it's X by price BTC. Okay, now it's easy to solve this equation with respect to price BTC. Okay, I don't want to offend you personally doing the equation slowly, so I will do it pretty quickly. So the price is determined in this way. Let's see some practical example. If John, for example, wants to buy a very small quantity of Bitcoin, this implies that the price is gonna pay will be very, very close to 1,000. A little more, because there is a spread. There is an automatic spread in the automatic market maker. So it will be equal to this amount here, divided by 100 minus 0.02. So we take the calculator here, so 100 minus 0.02, okay, what is 1 over x? 1 over x by 100,000. Okay, there is here an extra 0, I think. There is an extra 0 here, an extra 0 here. Okay, price is, as you can see, 1,000.20. Okay. So, if John tries to buy a small quantity, the price is pretty close to what was, let's say, the original price, however, slightly higher. Okay, this is the price which, after John bought, the remaining quantity are again 50-50. If John, on the other hand, tries to buy a large quantity, so let's say 10% of the remaining Bitcoin, this changes because here it's 20. Okay, and the situation changes completely because it's 100,000 divided by 80, 100,000. Okay, price much higher. Why is it much higher? Well, apart from the mathematical result, because the smart contract is assuming that now Bitcoin is highly requested with respect to USDT, because John takes 10% of the reserve off. So on one side, it's assuming that Bitcoin is highly requested. On the other side, the smart contract doesn't like to be depleted, because now the smart contract is depleted of Bitcoin, so the price is much higher. So if you buy large amounts on an AMM market, and well, large means large with respect to its current reserve, you pay much more. Okay, with the price of 1250, this is the price for which 80 Bitcoin are equivalent to 100,000 plus 10 by 1250, so it's this one. Okay, USDT. So this is the current reserve after this bought here by John, so 80 Bitcoin and 112500 USDT, which with a current price of Bitcoin equal to 1250 makes the two parts worth exactly the same. So the automatic market maker is built in such a way that it tries to balance the two parts of the market. So if we go here, for example, now I will launch, no, I don't want to launch terraswap.io. Let's go here, terraswap.io. There you go. Okay, yes, it's this one. I can recognize the website from its name. You don't do it, don't search with Google. Okay, that's why when you swap here something, for example, I swap, no, it takes 3 hours now. Can I connect my wallet? Terra Station, thank you. Okay, I swap my Luna. Well, Luna was fine. Why? Luna. I swap my Luna. Can I connect my Terra Station? No. Okay. Now I have 0.5 real Luna, so it will be nice to connect it. Okay, let's blame Firefox, because Chrome never does this kind of things. Let's change Luna for, what is it? BTC, for MBTC. Okay. Okay, here there is, let's suppose I change 10 Luna. Okay. Okay, here suggesting me the rate, but if the rate is currently 512, if I change 10,000 Luna, the rate will be, can you see, very different, because I'm depleting the Luna USD exchange from Luna. If I exchange 100, okay, just similar, see. So for small quantities, very similar, but if you start to ask for huge quantities, you are I'm depleting the Bitcoin here because I'm paying with Luna. Okay, so you can see the price is much more. Okay. Okay, there are some aggregators. What do aggregators do? Aggregators simply check different markets and find the best option for you. This is an example of an aggregator. Ooh, cookies, I agree. Okay, so for example, suppose I want to change one Ether for one DAI. Here the aggregator says, very well, you have two options, Uniswap or OTC. Okay, this is slightly better for me. So he suggests this one and says that I'm saving $1. Okay, you can, for example, take Luna again, Luna, wrapped Luna, because I'm on Ethereum blockchain, so Luna doesn't exist. It exists only as a wrapped token. So Luna for Bitcoin. Can you see also here that Bitcoin on Ethereum blockchain exists as wrapped BTC, Binance wrapped BTC, and the KBTC, mstable BTC, and P tokens BTC, Synth S BTC. So that's why I say, oh, here there is only one possibility. But if I do a famous one, Ethereum for Bitcoin, okay, only two possibilities. Okay, so he's just searching different exchanges and suggesting the best one. Borrowing and lending, it's another typical activity which is done on the blockchain, on the decentralized finance. It's very important to note that while lending, so you give money to the smart contract, it's exactly the same as what you usually do in a bank. So you give them your money and they will give you an interest. So the money is locked in the smart contract, you can unlock it at any time. The first difference is that the interest that you get is not yearly, not monthly, not daily, is instantaneously. So it's instantaneously. You can get it back when you wish. Well, some smart contracts put a restriction on this, but you can get it back when you wish. So it's also sometimes a good procedure to get the interest back and reinvest it, so you compound it. We'll see this thing later on, however. Borrowing instead is completely different with respect to what traditional banks do. Because here you don't borrow and pay it back with your monthly income. No. In the crypto world, nobody trusts nobody. So nobody trusts anybody. So the only way for you to get to borrow money is to put a collateral. So for example, you put one Bitcoin as collateral. This is currently worth $40,000, and you can borrow up to $30,000 of another cryptocurrency. Why would you do that? Well, there are three good reasons to do it. The first thing, it means that you are short of money, so you need money, but you don't want to sell your Bitcoin. And there are a lot of people who are in this situation. So they just deposit their Bitcoin somewhere and they borrow USDT, which is basically equivalent to dollar, and they spend it. Don't suggest to do it. The second thing is that because you have better investment opportunity, for example, you believe that the Bitcoin will go up, so you don't want to sell it, so you put it there, and you borrow another cryptocurrency which you can use, for example, to get interest somewhere else. The third thing is because you believe that a cryptocurrency is going down. So you put your Bitcoin into smart contract, the Bitcoin will be used, so it can go up, you hope. Okay, and you borrow, for example, Dogecoin, you sell it, and if Dogecoin goes down, you can rebuy it at a smaller price and repay your debt. And so you have gained the difference. This is short selling, very dangerous, however, by the way. There is, however, a big problem is the liquidation. Because suppose, for example, that you deposit one Bitcoin as collateral. One Bitcoin currently is worth $40,000. They give you the possibility to borrow up to $30,000 of other cryptocurrency. $30,000 is 75%. 75% means that it's your liquidation threshold. If for any reason the amount of money that you have borrowed goes above this 75%, you will be liquidated. How can it go above? Well, there are two ways in which it can go above. The first way, you are charged interest on the amount of money that you borrow, so it increases slowly with time. The second way is that cryptocurrencies are very volatile. The value of the cryptocurrency that you have borrowed could go up, or usually the value of your collateral could go down. If Bitcoin goes down to 28, you are even below the amount of money that you have borrowed. So in all these cases, you will get liquidated. It means that the smart contract will automatically sell part of your collateral to pay back your debt without your consent. Okay. This will happen also if you disappear forever, and sooner or later you will go above liquidation threshold and the smart contract will liquidate it. It's not really the smart contract that does this operation, because the smart contract, we have learned, it's a passive subject and so cannot do it by himself. But the smart contract will give the opportunity to everybody to do it. So there is a require debt larger than liquidation threshold, okay? And so if this require is activated, everybody can sell your money, so can get your money paying back your loan with a discount of 10%, 5-10%. So you will be punished with an extra 5-10% to pay if you go above your liquidation threshold. So you must pay attention to your debts, because, okay, it's not a terrible punishment, only 5-10%, but you can be punished. A very good, let's see some website. The first one is this one. Open. Remember, we see websites, but behind these websites, there is always a smart contract behind. Even if the website disappears, you can rebuild the website on your own computer and access the smart contract anyway. So it doesn't matter the website, there is always a smart contract behind. Let's see. Okay, here, for example, you can supply these currencies here. Am I already connected? No. I will try to connect. Which one? Okay, with MetaMask. Okay. Which blockchain is this one? No, I don't know. Binance, perhaps. Yes. Connect. Okay, I don't have any idea which blockchain is this one. Perhaps Binance. Yes, Binance Smart Chain. Okay, for example, I can supply USDT and get a 4.39% of interest. Bitcoin only 0.78. This is because many people want to supply Bitcoin and Ethereum. I can supply DOT and get a 22.57, or Cake and get a 41.05, but there are better places to supply Cake. Okay, and this is how much you pay if you borrow. So if you borrow USDT, you pay 4.96. Okay, it's interesting to note that sometimes, look at this one, if you supply BF, you get 1.17. If you instead borrow BF, you don't pay, you get 0.30. You can say, why? I tell you why. You have to go here, look here. So if you borrow, if you supply it, you get 0.51. If you borrow, you pay 3.77, but you get 3.91 in Venus token. So all these lending and borrowing websites have their own token, and they give you a little price. These tokens tend to go down quite quickly. So it's true that you get 3.91 in Venus token, but you have to sell them quickly because they tend to go down. Okay, because many people get them and sell them, so we say dump. Okay, it's very interesting to look here at the curve. The red one is for the borrow and the green one is for the supply. How the interest rate changes according to how much is used. For example, if it all completely used up, so everybody, so they are completely left without BETH. If they are completely left without BETH and you supply, you will get a 10%, so not too much, honestly. If they are completely without BETH and you try to ask to borrow, well, which is pretty improbable, you have to pay 12.71. So currently only 70% of their BETH is used. Okay, but there are better supply line. For example, let's look at this one. There is nothing. Why? Borrow. Okay, this one is the typical one. So up to 80%, the two things grow very slowly. So if, for example, 60% of the supply of USDT is used, they give out at 3.08 and receive at 1.68. However, starting from 80%, they has a sharp increase. And for example, if 98% of the reserve is depleted, they if you supply, you get 23, and if you borrow, you have to pay 26. Okay, so this is to disincentivize this part here. So they want to have at least 80%, at least 20% of the supply ready. You can see here also the market liquidity, number of suppliers, number of borrowers, and a lot of interest. This is a lot of information. These are all information which you usually don't get in the traditional finance. So from a certain point of view, the decentralized finance is extremely transparent. So which bank gives you the number of borrowers. You can also get to know who are the borrowers. The total supply. Which bank tells you that currently the bank has only 19% of reserve? No bank tells you that. And what will be the interest rate later on? No bank gives you this information. Okay, and also the exchange rate and etc. etc. Okay, there is another one which is pretty famous. Okay, a very interesting website, smart contract obviously, is Solend, which is this one. It's on the Solana network. I have already connected my Phantom wallet. Okay, here it's even more clear. For example, if you want to supply UST, what do they give you? Look, 12.47, which is made up of 9.09 in UST. Obviously, since UST is on the Terra blockchain and we are here on the Solana blockchain, this is a wrapped UST, and they will give you 3.38 in wrapped Luna. So there are special offers, let's say, also here. Okay, if you want to borrow instead, it's here. Pay attention because here the plus means minus. So if you want to borrow, for example, Tether, you have to pay 3.88. And this 3.88 is really 8.29. Can I get it? No. 8.29 in Tether, but they give you an extra bonus of 4.41 in Solend, which is their own currency, which you will dump easily. Or better, you will not dump easily, you will supply here because it gives you an 18.66 of interest. Don't try to borrow Solend because you will be killed. It's very interesting that if you borrow Bitcoin, you have to pay 1.14 as a borrow APY, so annual percentage yield. But you receive 4.06 in Solend reward, so you basically receive almost 3% as a bonus. So we'll do this one. I have some 39 Solana here. So I will first deposit some Solana. So I go here to Solana. I deposit 0.3. Okay, don't deposit all of it because I need to pay the fees. So it says that, let's see. Okay, if I deposit, I can borrow up to 75% of what I deposit, so which means probably $25. My liquidation threshold is 85%, and I will be penalized with a 5% of liquidation penalty if I go up. Okay, I supply this wonderful 0.3 Solana. Okay, have to confirm the transaction in wallet. Unfortunately, I'm using Firefox, so the Solana wallet takes a lifetime to open. Okay, finally, I get it. Approve transaction. Let me click on approve, please. On Chrome, it's extremely fast. Okay. It's pretty annoying to have a slow wallet because it means that you click. Okay. Okay, now you can see here, from here, I have assets supplied, my $30 in Solana, 0.2999 Sol. It took a little percentage. Okay. Now I immediately start getting this APY immediately. So it's instantaneous. So if now I withdraw, I will get some. Let's see. So Solana. If I withdraw, can you see I have slightly more than what appears here. Perhaps in a short time I will have back my 0.30. Okay. Borrow, withdraw. Okay, well, the interest is going up, but not so much. Okay, but I don't want to withdraw now because I want to borrow Bitcoin. So borrow. How much can I borrow? Okay, but I don't want to borrow it all because I don't want to risk liquidation. So I will borrow something less, 0.005. Borrow. Confirm transaction in wallet. have to wait. In the meantime, Bitcoin is going up. Dai, come on. Okay. Okay, transaction confirmed. Now let me see. Now I have, okay, access borrows Bitcoin. And you can see here, the green bar is my current balance. This is the amount I can borrow. So I could borrow even a little more. And this is the liquidation threshold. If for any reason the value of Solana drops, or the value of Bitcoin rises, or the interest I paid on Bitcoin, which is this 1.14, goes up too much, this one will go up and will reach here, and I will get liquidated. Only the part exceeding it will be liquidated automatically by people who do this as a profession, so they are the liquidators. Okay, well, have I really received my Bitcoin? Let's look into wallet. Okay, you can see I have only 0.0859 Sol, but I have now the Bitcoin, not the real one, the wrapped one, $20 in wrapped Bitcoin. It's a dangerous position, however, because if the Bitcoin price goes up and up, I risk being liquidated. It's also, I cannot re-give them back. Well, I could give them back to gain another 0.30. It could be a good idea. Let's see if I can do it. Supply. Yeah, I can give it back to the smart contract. So it seems pretty funny because I borrow Bitcoin from them and I give back to them as a supply. It's the same as you ask a bank for a debt and then you leave the money of the debt in the bank account. Okay. Yes. Okay, but I will keep it like this. So I will get my Soland, which will slowly start to accumulate here. The Soland will start to accumulate here. They pay you once a month. So while the interest is instantaneously, these Soland rewards are paid only once a month. You can see if I click claim rewards. Okay, they're saying what? Claimable at the third of every month. So we'll see back. Okay. I think that I will later close my position. Okay. So the risk here is basically liquidation. Okay, let's talk about liquidity pools now. I'm sure you are wondering who provides liquidity to the automatic market maker, because who provides liquidity to a website like this one is pretty obvious, me. So I've now provided some Solana, I've taken some Bitcoin, okay, but who provides liquidity to the exchanges, so to the AMM exchanges? Well, there are liquidity pools. So liquidity pools provide liquidity to the AMM exchanges. Let's see, for example, PancakeSwap. Okay, this PancakeSwap. I connect my MetaMask. Okay, I'm on Binance Smart Chain. Have currently 0.09 BNB tokens. Let's see whether I have some other tokens. Don't think so. Okay, so you go here to trade swap, this to do the regular swap, trade liquidity. Here you provide liquidity, okay? You need just to press add liquidity and you have to choose to which swap do you provide liquidity, because each of this one, so each couple, it's an individual smart contract. So you see them better here in farms. We'll talk about it later. So Cake BNB, BUSD BNB, ABNBC BNB, etc., etc. Most of them are against BNB, but there is also Froyo Cake, BS, and whatever you may dream of. Let's just take the sorted by liquidity, so the most famous ones first. You see, for example, here are Bitcoin Binance token, Bitcoin Ethereum. This is pretty famous. Okay, so I go back here where they provide liquidity. I would like to provide liquidity to BNB Cake, for example, which is pretty famous. Okay, however, unfortunately, you must provide liquidity 50-50. So I must provide the same amount in Binance token and the same amount in Cake token. It's a rule. Whenever you provide liquidity, you must provide liquidity 50-50. So I have currently on my MetaMask only Binance tokens. I don't have any Cake. Yeah, got it. Okay, so I will now convert a little less than half of my Binance token to Cake. So I need to go to swap. So Binance, what is my maximum? 0.85. So I will provide 0.04. Okay, and I will convert them to Cake. So swap. Yeah, price updated. Okay, confirm swap. I have to confirm here in MetaMask. Okay, confirm. Okay. And in case you don't have Cake as an asset, you need to add it to MetaMask, because MetaMask by default has only the native currency, which in this case is BNB, because we are on the Binance Smart Chain. So I add Cake to MetaMask. I have already added, but I just showed to you. Yes, I have to. Okay. This doesn't add your amount of Cake. Simply it tells MetaMask to display Cake. Okay, so now among my assets, it displays Cake. Now I go to liquidity pools. Add liquidity. Salute. BNB. The other one is Cake. So I have to provide 50-50. I cannot put all my BNB because I don't have enough Cake. In fact, I have only 1.7 Cake, so I put all my Cake and have enough BNB. Okay, so now I supply liquidity. Confirm supply. To confirm, MetaMask. Okay, confirm. Okay, I repeat, if you have never done it before, perhaps it will ask you several confirmations. Remember also to click Add Cake LP to MetaMask, because we provide liquidity and we could stop here. So in theory, we could stop to provide the liquidity. That's it. The smart contract will remember who we are, and we will remember that we provided liquidity in Cake and Binance token. However, the smart contract does something more. Gives us a liquidity token, which now I pretend to add to MetaMask, but I have already added it. Okay. So as you can see here, among my assets now, I don't have Cake anymore. I have a small quantity of Binance tokens, and I have this 0.25017 Cake LP. It's a liquidity token. This is a piece of paper, you can imagine, which proves that I have provided liquidity. Why does it give me this piece of paper? It's not necessary, but the fact that it gives me this piece of paper, I call it piece of paper, but it's a crypto token, gives me an extra possibility. I can sell it. So I can sell my credit. This represents the fact that I have some liquidity deposited in it. I can take it and sell it. So I don't necessarily need to redeem my liquidity from PancakeSwap. I can, instead of redeeming it, selling it. Or I can do even something better. I can use it as a collateral and borrow money. So I can actually use my credit here. It's like the old, at least in Italy, in the old times, we had some paper books in which the bank officer was writing all your amount of money, and it was transferable. So you could take it and give it to another person, and that other person was the real owner of the money in that moment. So same thing here, the liquidity token not only gives you the proof that you have provided liquidity, but anybody could redeem the liquidity in my place if I give it to another person. So I could now transfer this token to another person, and the other person will, so I can send it, you can see, and the other person will be able to redeem the liquidity in my place. So I could sell it, or just use it as a collateral. Where do I see that I have some liquidity deposited? Well, here. So whoever has the token in his wallet will see here that you have joined the pool of Cake BNB. Okay. What do I receive from this pool? Well, I receive a percentage, or a large percentage, of all the fees that the people who swap pay. So I receive, so first thing I receive, so a large percentage of all the fees that the people who have swapped pay. Okay? Because the fees that the people who have swapped goes into the liquidity pool, and I receive a percent. I am for every effect a shareholders. Not only, but I receive something more, which is very strange for the people who are outside this world. I receive some extra tokens of Pancake Swap as, let's say, a generous compensation of the fact that I provide liquidity, as a prize that I provide liquidity. And these tokens are the cake token. The fact that I receive cake token doesn't have anything to do with the fact that I deposited cake here. Everybody receives extra cake tokens as a sign of appreciation that you have provided liquidity. How many? Well, actually a lot. If you go here, so I could now either use my liquidity token as a collateral somewhere else, sell it, do whatever I want. But I could do something else. I could put it here, earn farms. And this is something which in standard finance doesn't exist. So if instead of selling or putting as collateral my liquidity token, I leave it inside the smart contract, they give me extra cake tokens. So you can see I have currently a cake BNB liquidity token. I can put it here and I will earn something more. How much more? Look. So not only details, not only will I earn my fees, but I will earn a 57% more or better. My liquidity rewards include the fees. If I put it here, I will earn something more, which puts something more is 52%. So I have a 5% approximately in liquidity rewards, so from the fees, and I have an extra 52%, which is outrageous as an interest rate, just as a sign of appreciation that I provided liquidity to smart contract. Okay, I will receive this extra 52% in cake, which is not a very good cryptocurrencies. People usually dump it, but it's still 52%. And so this is the first very strange thing, that I receive a huge amount of interest, but I must deposit it here. So I must deposit my liquidity token here in the farm, so I stake LP. So instead of using it somewhere else. Not only, but I receive something extra. Look, because this is also another thing interesting. This 52% that I receive extra on top of liquidity rewards from fees, okay, it's a simple interest. So I can a simple interest paid whenever I ask for it. And this is something very strange. So I can ask this interest whenever I want. So just as an example, if I put 100,000 USD as liquidity token, which honestly I don't have, but let's make it as an example, and I leave it for 1 year, I will earn $52,000, so 52%. Okay? But if I, every month, I withdraw my interest, and it's technically called harvested. I harvest my interest, and I put the interest back into the liquidity pool, divide, split in cake and BNB. Okay, so I compound the interest, and if I do it every month, look, I will gain. What is it? Wait, let's put back 100,000. Okay, 100,000, 67. So if I don't compound, it's 52%. If I compound, it goes to, if I compound every month, it goes to 67. If I compound every week, it goes to 68. If I compound every day, it goes to 69. I could compound every hour, okay, every second. Okay, so now first of all, let's do it. Pay attention because these numbers here change every instant. So now you have seen it's already different, it's slightly different. Tomorrow they will all be different. So for example, yesterday they were much lower, not so high. Today I don't understand why they are so high. So I stake LP, max, Confirm. Okay, finally MetaMask asks me something. Okay, confirm. Perhaps to you it will ask more confirmation because I had already staked this thing here. So, okay, is it staked now? Let's see. When it's staked, it disappears from your MetaMask. Pending. Okay, done. Okay, so you can see currently I don't have it. Now, so now the liquidity pool had given me a cake LP. And I've decided, instead of spending it or doing whatever, to put the liquidity pool in this, which is technically called farm. So it will stay there. Okay. It will start to earn interest. Okay, the interest earned can be seen from here. Okay, currently only some seconds have passed, so I have earned some interest, but it's so small because the amount at harvest it's smaller than $1 million. So I will spend. The problem is that whenever I harvest, I spend in fees. So that's why it's not a good idea to harvest every minute. I could harvest every minute and compound the interest, but not a good idea. Probably with an interest rate of 57%, it's worthwhile to harvest every hour. Okay, so I could harvest every hour, and this should balance out the fees that I pay with the interest rate. I built an Excel sheet once to calculate according to how much is the APR here, how off, and according to how much are the fees on the Binance Smart Chain, which are approximately 20 cents every time you do a transaction like this. How often should you harvest to maximize your earnings? Okay. However, you clearly understand that I am a human person. I cannot wake up during the night every hour because I have to click on harvest on PancakeSwap. Well, I mean, I have a private life. Okay, isn't there an automatic tool which can harvest automatically for me? Yes, there is, obviously. There are other smart contracts like Beefy Finance, which make everything here automatic. This Beefy Finance, there is the cow symbol. You can choose which blockchain do you want to work with, for example, Binance Smart Chain. Okay, it will show you the best offers on Binance Smart Chain. Well, let's see the offer I just make. So on Cake, okay, Cake BNB. There is a better offers as here on Ape Swap. And my this is what I got on PancakeSwap. You can see I was getting 64% on the other website, but if you do it through Beefy Finance, you get 75%. Why? Because Beefy Finance is able to optimize their vesting. First of all, it invests all together, so all the people who have invested in these things are invested together, and not you don't have to invest a little amount, but with a single transaction, all of them are invested together. Then probably it will reinvest your money somehow in other ways, so it's able to guarantee you a 75% of APY on the very same thing that I was able to get here, my little 62.62%. So it's able to implement some little strategy. Perhaps the cake that I get will be reinvested here in this pool here, where you can stake cake for 81%. So it will implement some strategies and let you gain much more. Obviously, it will take a little fee, but it will really get much more. Okay. I have to tell you, however, that all the percentages that you see here change instantaneously. So if you watch this video later on, you will see that this 81% will not be 81%. It could be 100, it could be 200, it could be 50. Okay, they tend to change instantaneously. Okay, so there exists even better website or smart contracts which do really some strategies. Let's see. Yearn Finance, Labs, Volts. Okay. What is this smart contract doing? This smart contract is implementing strategies. For example, which strategy is the smart contract implementing on USDT? Let's see. supplies USDT to Curve Finance to earn CRV. Earn tokens are harvested, sold for more USD, which is deposited back into the strategy. Strategy automatically switches the most profitable Curve pool, and supplies USD to Aave, supplies USD to Alpha Mora, to Curve Finance, supply USD to stable pool on balancer to earn BAL and trading fees. Rewards are harvested. Okay, so it chooses the strategy according to which one is the best one, without you having to do it. So automatically. So there are this, let's say, automatic strategies, smart contracts. They act as an investment fund, but with a clear investment strategy. Okay, what are the risks here? Too many movements without any doubt. So I tried Pancake Swap, and you continuously are trying to move because there is a better opportunity, but a better opportunity lasts for 3 days, then you move it again. So you spend in fees and in lost money because you have also some spread when you convert between a currency and another one, a lot of money. There is another problem, which is impermanent loss. I don't want to enter the details here because it takes literally half an hour to explain it to you, but I will explain it very briefly. If you invest in a liquidity pool with two coins, and for example their price difference is this one when you start your investment, if the price difference remains this one, so they both go up or they both go down, you don't have any impermanent loss. So you gain more if they both go up, you lose something if they both go down. In both cases, you earn your interest, that is for sure. So you earn always your interest, you earn more if they both go up, you lose some if they both go down. But there is a strange mathematical reason behind. If you supply liquidity and the two currency diverge, or just change their initial things, also they do something like this, okay, not only you will gain or lose according to whether in general they go up or they go down, but you will face an impermanent loss which depends on how much they spread. It's very strange because it's a mathematical calculation. The impermanent loss can be very, very high if they start to diverge a lot. So for example, if you supply liquidity to Bitcoin USDT and the price of Bitcoin triples, you will face an impermanent loss. It means that if you had invested only in Bitcoin and USDT separately, you would have gained more. So there is a mathematical reason behind. I don't want to enter the technical details because it will require a lesson dedicated. And let's see the last thing, the bizarre things, the most advanced things. First of all, the DAO. All these smart contracts are, some of them are fixed. I mean, they're built like this. They have some automated procedure for determining interest rate and things like that, and cannot be changed. But most of them can be changed through a voting of the people who have invested in the smart contract. So the liquidity providers can decide to vote. Okay, I have here an example, the famous Anchor protocol. Let's see if I can enter with only the testnet. I think yes, I can enter only with a testnet. Let's see. I switch to the testnet. It's on Terra. I switch on to testnet where I have a lot of lunas. Yeah, I have a lot of lunas. Okay. This is a standard borrow and lending. By the way, it's famous for giving a very large APY on USD. Okay. But there is also here using govern. Okay. If you have the ANC tokens, which are the tokens of the smart contract itself, and now do I have my ANC token? Connect Terra Station. Before tomorrow. Oh, something is happening. Okay, let me connect Terra Station. Okay, I cannot connect Terra Station. Firefox really sucks. I give up. But you can see in Govern what's happening. Let me refresh. Okay. If you have the ANC token, you can government stake. It means that you put them aside. You're not allowed to sell them anymore if they are staked. You can retrieve them easily. Okay. And once they are staked, what happens if I stake? I don't have my wallet connect, so okay. Once they're taken, you can propose some modification to the smart contract or vote for the modification. For example, here, can you see? These are the modifications which have been proposed and executed. So redirect remaining anchor adopts to community pool. Yes, 12%, not 0.18. Raise BS max loan to value, so to 75%, yes, 22%. Dynamic, this was very controversial. 14% yes, 2% no. Some of them have been rejected. Polychain capital and ARCA proposal. New anchor earn rate schedule. No, 54%. There was compensate user for liquidation bug. 43% no. Okay, so you can see that people really make proposal, vote, and then the proposal must also include a modification to smart contract, and the smart contract is able to self-modify. It's not really a modification, simply there are parameters which can be modified, or there is a master smart contract which controls everything, and you just change the child smart contract to which it's connected. So there is a way to modify things, and it can be voted by the community of people who own the anchor cryptocurrency, the crypto token. So usually this proposal have a implementation time of at least 1 week to give everybody the opportunity to withdraw all the money before the rules change. Because if you have some rules which completely change, like this one, for example, where is it? There was one to change the earn rate, passed, executed. Okay, dynamic earn rate, so change the earn rate. So they give the people, for example, it was ended on 26 March. I remember it will be implemented on the 1st of May. So they have more than 1 month of time to withdraw the money. So in order not to cheat anybody. Or here increase, this one is an advantage for people. Okay, so all these are DAO, decentralized autonomous organizations. So where people actually vote as if they were shareholders. Okay, because they are shareholders, they earn usually the fees taken by the smart contract are distributed to people owning some ANC tokens. Okay, and they can vote. So it's an autonomous organization by all effect. If you want to an example of an autonomous organization which has some impact on, let's say, real life, I have this example here. Constitution DAO. This is an autonomous organization based on Ethereum, which had as a plan to buy a physical copy of the American Constitution. They managed to raise money. You can see here. They managed to raise, how much? Let's see. 23rd March? No, let's see. 1 year. Okay, here. They managed to raise only 11,000. 11,000 Ether. Let me see. 11,613 Ether. An Ether is about $3,000 now. Well, $33 million. They were able to raise $33 million. They obviously voted to nominate a physical person, a physical representative who went to Sotheby to participate in the auction, to physically participate in the auction, and unfortunately they failed. So they didn't win. So it means that the American Constitution was sold for more than $33 million. Sotheby was exceptionally accepting also Ethereum. Okay, you can see they wrote here. the community has taken all the action, we raised capital, we bid as Sotheby's, and upon losing, we made full refund available to community as promised. So every person who invested received a people token, so the people token, and now with the people token, he can retrieve back his money, okay? Or can keep the people token just to say around, hey, I participated in the Constitution DAO. Okay, or claim or redeem. Okay, so this is an example. There is another interesting example here, a stock market, a simulation of the stock market. Okay, look, Apple, Airbnb, Amazon, Alibaba, Bitcoin in the middle, Disney, Ethereum, Google. This is a simulation of the stock market. It's a smart contract. It gives you also borrow. Okay, there is also a govern here, bottom, which means that it's also a DAO. It's a smart contract in which you can buy Amazon stocks. You can pay, it's on Terra network, you can pay with some crypto, perhaps only with USD. Yes, perhaps yes. And you buy Amazon, for example, Amazon stocks. You can sell also them, even if you don't have them, because you can borrow them, so you can short sell. You must have a collateral, obviously. Okay, the price is determined, this price here is determined looking at the measure where Amazon is typically traded, so the smart contract automatically looks there. Obviously, these are not real Amazon shares, they simply mimic the price. So it's a crypto token which is equivalent to Amazon share. So you can invest in the stock market without exiting the crypto market. And finally, what really surprised me is the existence of smart contracts for insurances. Okay, look. Here, these are all insurances which you can buy. And there is most of them are on the crypto world. So for example, if you buy an insurance on Beefy Finance, it covers the contract bug, economic attack, or an oracle failure, or a governance attack. It means somebody who tries to raise a lot of votes and change the rules. Okay, so everything is inside the crypto world. What surprised me is that there is something a little outside the crypto world. Let me search for it. Control F, Coinbase. You know, Coinbase is an exchange, but it's a centralized exchange. Also Kraken, Gemini, and Binance. These are centralized exchanges, so not decentralized. So they are outside the DeFi world. But this insurance covers you on Coinbase if the custodian gets hacked and you lose more than 10% of your funds. So if Coinbase gets hacked and you lose more than 10% of your funds, or withdrawals from Coinbase are halted for more than 90 days. In this case, you get paid. How does it work? Well, you decide how much you want. For example, you want to be covered for 90 days. You have a maximum amount of 10 Ether. So I will cover up to 10 Ether for a period of 90 days. It gives you a quote here. I will have to pay 0.064 Ether. Okay. And now I don't have enough Ether, but I can click here and become a member. So I will basically buy an insurance. Okay. An insurance cover. And what happens if the incident happens? I must, first of all, prove it. Okay. And who decides? This is very interesting because who decides whether I can get the money or not? It's the community which decides. So the people who have bought insurances or who have founded the smart contract, because also the smart contract can be founded here. Can you see? There is a stake, okay, where you can found the smart contract. And obviously, as every shareholders earns the revenues. Now, it's incredibly slow. Okay, here in the claims, you can see the people who have filed a claim. Okay, here you can see this has been denied, accepted. This person here received 12 Ether because of his problem with Cream version. Cream version 1 must have had a lot of problems. Some of them have been accepted, some denied. Okay, unfortunately, it's not publicly available unless you are a subscriber, shareholders. I think it's not publicly available. Okay, you can see that the people who voted, 100% incident details, flash loan, blah blah blah, exploit details, wallet, approximately $4,000. There is the discussion on Discord, obviously. Let's see what copy. This was rejected, Yes, this is the transaction hash. Okay. So this is the documentation provided. Okay, it was not enough, so perhaps, let's see another one which was accepted. This one. Perhaps. Oh, for the accepted one. Oh no, okay, here you see. Hello, members and claim assessors. On 20 years of experience hacking Liquidity train, I was the victim of the tax they were supplying Banco to the protocol. I only recently understood there was a victim of the investigation to blah 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 blah. They accepted and they send back the money. So the people should act honestly, the validator, because if they don't act honestly, I see here a too big list of denied and I will not buy the insurance. For example, if I wish to buy an insurance on Swap version 2 and I see that this case was evidently to be accepted and it has been denied, I will not buy it. So the people are... What happened to Kraken here? The people who decide must act in an honest way. Well, view raw proof. This is all the proof. Well, not too much, honestly. And now I understand why it has been rejected. Okay. Okay, and this is everything for Decentralized Finance. Bye bye.